Today's video is brought to you by Tile, the world's largest lost and found. Ensure you never misplace your laptop, keys, or even smartphone by using the Tile community and mobile application. You can check out and pre-order Tile by using the link in the description. How's it going, everyone? This is Tom. Welcome back to another video. Today I actually want to talk about something different. I don't actually think I've done a video like this, kind of just going over this topic, purely because it's something a little bit foreign to me. I've only ever owned one phablet in the past. Yes, today we're going to be talking about phablets, more specifically the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and also the fabled 5.5-inch iPhone 6. So, let's get started. So when you think about phablets in the wild, there's only really a few brands that pop to mind. Number one, the biggest really is Samsung. The Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is just extremely popular. We've also seen manufacturers like Huawei jump into the space and things like that, but it's really Samsung that have got a grasp on the phablet kind of market space, really. But also, we've seen over the past few months that Apple may be venturing into this space with a 5.5-inch iPhone 6 to be released alongside the 4.7-inch version that's soon to be coming in, hopefully, September. So, as it's kind of what I do here on my channel, I thought it would be a really interesting video to kind of talk about the iPhone 6, the 5.5-inch phablet iPhone 6, and also the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which I'm extremely excited to get hold of, and just kind of talk about, kind of have a conversation with you guys about why I think that Apple might struggle with creating a phablet like this, and how they'll compare to something like the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 when Samsung has had a lot longer to develop a much mature product. So first off, I want to talk about software in general, because really the hardware is just a means to an end with a phablet device. You of course have the fantastic hardware that is likely to come with the iPhone 5-6. If there is a 5.5-inch version, you can rest assured that the hardware will be pretty good, along with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Samsung's Galaxy Note line is always a very, very solid lineup of phones, but it's really the software which sets things apart. Now, Samsung has a long time to develop TouchWiz on top of Android to get it to a point where it's a very, very mature operating system for a phone like the Samsung Galaxy Note. This is Apple's first venture into this space, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see just how Apple can take advantage of the extra screen real estate. iOS 8 looks like it will be fantastic on the 4.7-inch iPhone. I've actually done a video showing off what iOS 8 will look like, which actually went down extremely well, and if you want to see that, I'll have that link down below. But it's not going to float for Apple to just upscale iOS to make it bigger, which the 4.7-inch version, Apple might be able to get away with that. But a 5.5-inch phone, you've got a lot more screen real estate than a 4-inch phone, so people want to do more with it. They want applications which take advantage of the screen size, things like multi-window and things like that, and Samsung really have that down on the Samsung Galaxy Note line, and that's one of the only ways that Apple is going to be able to compete in this space with Samsung. Another huge thing worth mentioning is the S Pen from Samsung. Now personally, I've only ever owned one Samsung Galaxy Note device. I think it was the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, and it was a little while ago. And to be perfectly honest, I think I used the S Pen a grand total of about once. I didn't really get it out, I didn't find much use for it, but I know that a lot of people use the S Pen on the Samsung Galaxy Note. It's an extremely popular feature because it turns a phone into somewhat of a more powerful computing device. People are able to actually get a bit of work done for presentations and things like that, actually writing down notes. As I said, a lot of people enjoy the functionality on the Samsung Galaxy Note line. However, I just do not see Apple going down the route of a stylus. I just don't think it's their thing. So they're going to need to find a way to make iOS 8 on the 5.5-inch iPhone just as productive, if not more productive, than the Samsung Galaxy Note line. Something else worth talking about is battery life. Now, a big reason why people pick up these phablet devices is because they have a lot more space in them for manufacturers to just pack in a big old battery. For example, the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, you can easily get away with kind of not charging for 2 days purely because it has such a high capacity battery in there because of the size of the phone that it's able to just last and last. Now, the iPhone 6, if it is as thin as the 4.7-inch version that we've seen rumoured time and time again, the battery's going to have to take up a wide area of that phone. At this point, it's all speculation to see whether or not Apple actually puts a big battery to compete with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy Note line inside the iPhone 6 with a 5.5-inch screen. Looking from an outside perspective, it would make sense that Apple go ahead and bump up the milliamp hours quite significantly for the 5.5-inch version. Apart from the actual display functionality, you're not going to be looking at a ton of component upgrades, probably from the 4.7-inch version iPhone to the 5.5-inch, so it would be nice to see Apple incorporate purely battery additions from those two phones to just make it a much more pleasurable experience to use the iPhone 6 with a 5.5-inch screen on a daily basis and not have to charge it every single night. I know it somewhat seems like I'm bashing Apple here, and I'm really not trying to portray that. I'm an extremely big fan of Apple devices, and I don't think I've ever been more excited for an iPhone release than for the release of the iPhone 6, particularly with the 4.7-inch screen. Like I said, I'm extremely excited for that version of the phone. However, you can be assured that I will definitely be picking up a 5.5-inch version of the iPhone 6, purely because it's an extremely interesting concept. For Apple to go from a 4-inch screen found on the iPhone 5S straight to a 4.7 and a 5.5, that's an extremely big jump, especially coming from a manufacturer that did all of their marketing around being able to hold your phone in one hand. Personally, I think the biggest thing from this release will be that developers get a bigger real estate for iOS, somewhere between the iPad mini and the iPhone, to actually play around with. We're going to be seeing a ton of applications which really utilize that screen size. And of course, you know, an extra row of iOS applications would be nice, perhaps on the home screen, but it's the external applications, the external plugins from developers that I'm extremely excited for, especially with the release of iOS 8, which is very developer friendly. It really makes sense for Apple to release this phone and then just let developers go crazy on it, and they will. Apple have created a fantastic ecosystem of developers and users, so this edition of a phone will be really great to see what kind of comes out. Hopefully they're not just all upscaled applications. Hopefully we get lots of apps, things like multi-window and that kind of thing, which actually let your phone do multiple things at once and take real advantage of that screen size to make it a more productive experience. As I said, I will of course be picking up both of these phones, so don't worry about that. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see coverage on the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and on the iPhone 6 with a 4.7-inch and 5.5-inch display if it is released. Of course, guys, this is all speculation at this point, so go ahead and drop some comments in the comment section. I'm really excited to kind of just hear your opinions about these phones. I know personally I'm extremely excited for the Note 4, but also the iPhone side as well. It's been a long time since I've used a phablet on a daily basis, so I'm excited to try it again. So go ahead, leave me a comment. I'll be down there in the comment section for the next few days, kind of just replying and having a conversation with you guys. Follow me on Twitter for any updates if you'd like to see those. That will be down in the description as well, and I will catch you next time.